My name is Stella Brooks. I am 65 years old, a widow, a mother of two sons. I live in a quiet neighborhood in Phoenix, Arizona. My life was simple, peaceful, predictable. Every morning was the same. Breakfast dishes, quiet house, soft sunlight through the windows. My older son, Steven, left early for work. My grandson, Matthew, went to school, and my daughter-in-law, Araceli, stayed home with me. She was perfect, beautiful, polite, a caring wife, a loving mother, or at least that's what I believed. That morning felt normal, completely normal. Araceli walked upstairs. She smiled and said, "Mom, I'm going to take a quick shower." I nodded. I heard the water running. I started washing dishes. Then the phone rang, the landline. I dried my hands. I answered. "Mom," a familiar voice said. It was my younger son, Ivan, a pilot, my pride. He was calling from the airport during a layover. We laughed. We talked. Everything felt warm. Then his voice changed. "Mom, something strange is happening." I paused. "What is it, honey?" He hesitated, then whispered, "My sister-in-law is at the house." I smiled. I looked toward the stairs. "Of course she is," I said. "She's upstairs taking a shower." Silence. Long silence. I heard Ivan breathing. Then he spoke again, slowly, seriously. "Mom, that's impossible." My heart skipped. "Wait," I asked. "Because I have her passport in my hands." My grip tightened on the phone. She just boarded my flight to France. My mind went blank. I left nervously. "You must be mistaken," I said. "I just saw her. I heard her voice." Ivan didn't laugh. "Mom," he said firmly, "I am looking at her right now. She's sitting in first class, next to a very rich man. They look like a couple." My chest tightened. At that exact moment, the shower stopped. Footsteps echoed upstairs. A door opened, and Araceli's voice called out, "Mom, who's on the phone?" I froze. My heart pounded. I whispered into the receiver, "Ivan, she's here. She's standing right behind me." Silence again. Then Ivan said something I will never forget. "Mom, that's not possible. Because she's right here with me." Part 2. The first doubts. I hung up the phone. My hands were shaking. My heart was racing. The house suddenly felt heavy. Too quiet. Too tight. Araceli came downstairs. Her hair was still wet. She smiled like always. "Mom, I'm going to the market," she said. Her voice sounded normal. Her face looked normal. But my heart knew something wasn't. I nodded slowly. "Bring some tomatoes," I said. She grabbed her basket and walked out the door. I stood there frozen. If she was here, who was the woman on the plane? And if she was on the plane, who was in my house? That question haunted me. All day long, I tried to ignore it. I really did. But the small details started screaming. Some days Araceli was sweet. Very sweet. She hugged Matthew tightly. She sang to him. She laughed. Other days she was cold, distant, angry. She yelled over small things. She barely looked at him. I blamed stress. I blamed tiredness. Until I noticed something else. Her hands. One day she wrote with her right hand. Neat. Beautiful. The next day she wrote with her left. Messy. Awkward. I asked her once, "Since when are you left-handed?" She laughed quickly. "Just practicing, Mom." Something felt off. Then Matthew came home from school. He showed me his notebook. "Grandma," he said, "Mom writes different every day." He pointed to 2 pages. One was perfect. One was crooked. My chest tightened. "She must be tired," I told him. But he looked confused. "Some days my mom loves me. Some days she doesn't." That night, the doorbell rang. It was Mrs. Collins, our neighbor. She smiled, then hesitated. "Stella, is your daughter-in-law ambidextrous?" I froze. "Wake?" I asked. She gave me a plate with her left hand. "You once said she's right-handed." Another crack in my reality. Then the baker noticed it. Then the vegetable seller noticed it. Everyone noticed, but no one understood, including me. That night, I couldn't sleep. Evan's voice echoed in my head. She's on my flight. I took an old notebook, and I started writing times, dates, clothes, behavior. I didn't want to accuse. I just wanted answers. Deep inside, I was terrified of what I might find. Part 3. Following the shadow, days passed, but my fear grew. I watched her closely, very closely. One morning was calm. She smiled. She cooked. She kissed Matthew's head. The next morning she snapped. She yelled. She looked like a stranger. Matthew whispered to me one night, "Grandma, I want the mum from yesterday." My heart broke. That was when I knew I couldn't ignore it anymore. One afternoon, Stephen left for work. Matthew was at school. The house was quiet. Rosalie came downstairs, wearing a yellow floral dress. "Mom, I'm going to the market," she said softly. I nodded. I smiled. But inside I made a decision. I grabbed my shawl. I waited a few seconds. Then I followed her. I stayed far behind, careful, silent. She walked past the market. My heart started pounding. She turned left, into an alley. A narrow alley. Old houses. Peeling paint. This was not the market. I slowed down. I hid behind parked bikes. She didn't look back. She stopped at a wooden door. House number 14. She knocked and went inside. I stood frozen. My legs felt weak. I wanted to knock. I wanted to scream. But I was afraid. Afraid of the truth. I turned around and went home. My mind was spinning. I opened the gate and I froze. Rosalie was in the kitchen, wearing a white blouse, chopping vegetables. She looked up. "Where did you go, Mom?" My blood ran cold. She had just entered that alley. How was she here already? And the dress, it was gone. I stuttered. I went for a walk. She stared at me. Her eyes were sharp, cold. That night, Matthew cried. "Mom yelled at me," he said. "Yesterday she hugged me." I held him tight. I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling. One thought kept repeating. They are not the same person. The next morning I went back to the alley, alone, determined. I showed her photo to a woman nearby. "Yes," she said. "She comes here often." She pointed to house 14. My heart nearly stopped. I knocked. The door opened, and I saw her. Same face, same eyes, same hair, but fear filled her expression. "Rosalie," I whispered. She tried to close the door. Another woman spoke from inside. "Isadora, don't hide anymore. She deserves the truth." I stepped inside, my legs shaking, my life changing forever.